We want all of that. We want the Somali in the background too. We want to be official.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. We have Sheikh Munir in town today, Minneapolis, Minnesota. One more episode of 5-minute reminders, Qawaida, of the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Tafaddal ya Sheikh.
Well, I mean, alhamdulillah, I'm happy to be here. Allah has allowed me to come and meet these beautiful brothers for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our brothers from Somalia and from other countries. Alhamdulillah, we have a few of the youth with us, alhamdulillah. I think it's good to talk about the virtue of youth growing up in Islam and being firm upon Islam and upon the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now we have several hadith in which the Prophet ﷺ specifically addresses the youth. He talks to the Muslims, but now he talks specifically to the young Muslims, and he addresses them. From the most famous of those hadith is the hadith of Abdullah bin Mas'ud radiallahu anhu, okay, in which he said, Ya ma'ashar al-Shabab. He said, O assembly of youth, O young men, O young women, O young Muslims. Man istata'a minkum al-ba'ata falyatazawwaj. He says, any of you who has the ability, the responsibility, the capability to marry, then he should do so. فَإِنَّهُ أَغَضُّ لِلْبَصَرِ. Because when you get married, it helps you lower your gaze. It helps you to stay away from looking at that which you're not supposed to, or that which you shouldn't look at. وَأَحْسَنُ لِلْفَرْجِ. And it also helps the young men and women protect their chastity, protect their private areas. Stay away from vice. Stay away from zina, from homosexuality, from lesbianism, from masturbation, anything that's haram, anything that's displeasing to Allah. The Prophet ﷺ then tells us, وَمَنْ لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ فَعَلَيْهِ بِالصَّوْمِ فَإِنَّهُ لَهُ وِجَاءٌ. He says those who can't, those who don't have the ability to get married, then they should fast. Because fasting is a means of stifling your desires, as if you're castrating yourself. So this beautiful hadith in the Bukhari and Muslim, it shows, if we want to make a simple explanation of it, is that the Prophet ﷺ wanted the youth to keep safe, to remain safe from being destroyed. And when you look at everything, when you listen to everything, when you go everywhere, when you hang around every person, it's going to destroy you. And all it takes is one time, one place, one bad event, and then your whole life is jammed up. So the Muslim youth, they have to be aware of this. Okay? The elders have to teach them, and the youth have to be ready to respond and to listen to the knowledge, like you said, Suleiman, the fa'idah, the reminder. Okay? Another example is the hadith of Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu. That's collected in Bukhari and Muslim, which the Prophet ﷺ, he says, سَبْعَةٌ يُظِلُّهُمُ اللَّهُ فِي ظِلِّهِ يَوْمَ لَا ظِلَّ إِلَّا ظِلُّهُ. He says 7 types of people, 7 different types of individuals who will receive Allah's shade on a day in which there's no shade except for that which Allah provides. And he mentioned from them, he says, وَشَابٌ نَشَأَ فِي طَاعَةِ رَبِّهِ. He says, and a young man, a young woman, a young Muslim who grows up upon the worship and the obedience of his Lord. In other words, you guys are special. And it should be known that you're special. And you mean a lot to the Muslims and to Islam. And if you grow up as a Muslim and remain upon Islam, you're going to have a special protection and a special reward on the Day of Judgment. So think about that when you're at school. Think about that when you have peer pressure. Think about that when you start complaining about your parents or the master. Just think about that. The virtue of remaining firm as a young Muslim man or a young Muslim woman. There's so many different hadith in which the Prophet ﷺ, he played with the youth. He addressed them. He sat with them, okay? He dealt with them and he addressed their specific needs. So the Muslims, the fathers, the mothers, the big brothers and sisters, the elders, they have to address the needs of the youth. And it's upon you guys also to find somebody that you can feel comfortable talking with, ask them questions, concerns, worries. It's okay. You know what I mean? We're here for you, inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Well, y'all have anything to say about that, or you know what I mean? What do you think? What do you think some of the problems between the youth and the elders? What you think?
Bismillah.
Probably the elders of the mashaykhs. The elders of the mashaykhs, they're not really in with the youth. They can't really understand them.
They can't relate to them.
They don't really even try.
Exactly.
They just want to sit up there and speak.
That's a problem. That's a problem. So anybody who's going to watch this video, we should understand that there has to be a connection between the older Muslims and the younger Muslims. Now, sometimes they can't relate with certain issues, but it has to be an effort, as you said. You said they don't even try. That's unacceptable. What you think?
I think that it's harder for the people, like the sheikhs, to talk to the younger people because they're not really intertwined with them. They're not really one with them. Like there's people that you can talk to and show like your other side to people, and there's people that where you only see like just how you are around certain people. Yeah. And then so it's harder for you to talk